Hello everyone, welcome to Speedrun of Silent Hill 2 Remake. Today we'll be watching the speedrun together with you for the first time. We haven't seen it. And on this side, I myself am Maciej Głomb. I was a lead producer on Silent Hill 2 Remake. Basically doing my best, helping out developers on the team and helping out Mati, who's here with me, to create the best game that they can.
Oh,
Mati?
and what a help it was, man. Like, that's tremendous amount of help. Hello everyone. My name is Mateusz Lenart, and I was creative director and lead designer during the production. And yeah, I'm pretty excited, to be honest, and I'm pretty stressed too. Like it's kind of stressful feeling to watch your own baby being devastated in so many ways. Especially when it's the game like that is about storytelling. Like all the cutscenes would be skipped probably. So
Yeah, I bet they would.
this whole effort we put into it would just be ignored, right? Like, man, I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember way back when we were still testing the game, and I was beating it around 10 hours, and I thought I'm good. But obviously, I was going through. I was going through the whole playthrough, whole flow, all the cutscenes, etc. So yeah, I mean, seeing it beaten in 2 hours, and we're gonna see some parts of it today. I see we're already in Woodside, so that was quick.
That was fast,
We skipped a couple minutes ahead. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I assume that we're not gonna see too much fighting in this one, since fighting is kind of time consuming. But yeah, we'll see what the approach is.
Yeah, of course. Let's ignore everything we put so much effort into it, right?
That's
a good idea. Yeah, I guess also like the general pacing of the game that we crafted with so much care, like everything would be ruined. Like in this one, I can imagine like to be in the movie industry, right? And the director like just crafted this 10-minute build up for the horror scene or something like this, and someone just is playing it on the as a video, and they're like, nah, boring. Let's skip to the fun part. That's probably what the feeling is for us right now.
It's like some of those trailers that basically show you the whole story in 3 minutes. It's gonna be something like that.
I'm really curious, like how much it would be, how many things would be just broken, like like when they are using like bad collisions or something like this, or it would be just like very very, precise playing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I mean, over time it's almost 2 hours, so it's reassuring. I also love the last point right there. This game, lovely. Yeah, because 2 hours for a game that is, I don't know, like around 20, I guess, more or less, first playthrough, 18 to 20 maybe. 2 hours is kind of long for the speedrun. So, I mean, I guess good job us for not being, for the game not being too busted.
Well, we blocked it well. Yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about this location, right? Like, I think it was pretty interesting one for me at least, because I think after East City, which like the general design or the general approach for East City was to do it as close as it physically possible to the original, like in terms of the layout, in terms of the feeling, right? Because it's the beginning of the game, so we, as you remember, right? Like we didn't want to kind of break this immersion from the players, and we still wanted to lie to them that okay, like that would be like super one-to-one. Obviously, it's not in terms of the flow in the city, but this location is actually the first location that is completely redesigned, right?
And I guess we very early on we figured out that it needs to be redesigned to make it work with the approach for the camera that we've had. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, that's nice. See what he did there? I think that the game saved the state where we already have a handgun, and he figured it's quicker to just load than to see.
Oh no!
Wait, I'm not sure what happened there. Was it quicker? That's crazy.
Dude, let's ignore this dead guy being there.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. You were saying.
No worries. Like, there are so many things, being hidden in that location too. I don't know. Did you saw that anyone figured out like the number of the doors when the this mysterious body is in front of the TV, that the number of the doors is changing?
How
do you
the
think,
plaque falls off.
Yeah. I
I
didn't
don't
see
know.
anyone, catching that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we were to scour Reddit, we would find something, I suppose.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, of course, remembering all the codes by heart, as every professional speedrunner should, I suppose.
Yeah, all those designers' decisions. If we should,
Yeah, also
make it
this
random.
puzzle was the hardest to balance, right? We spent so much time balancing the prisoner puzzle. It was crazy.
Yeah, and there's so many ideas too, right? Like in terms of how it can work with a flashlight, without it.
Yeah,
That's a tricky one.
Okay, we're gonna get to the third floor soon. Yeah, right now. This one's actually super tricky when you play for the first time, because it's just a mannequin hive, basically.
Yeah, I saw many people dying
all the
here
angles
several times. Yeah, but we probably will not see that this time.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Devkin even once, honestly. Don't think so. I almost feel that this part of the Woodside apartment is even harder when you are, very careful, because then you engage and you need to fight a couple of mannequins at the same time, and it's kind of tricky, especially at the beginning of the game.
And obviously, this was the part that longtime fans should appreciate the most, right? Like we kept the juice, right?
Oh yeah.
It's there, so no one can say that we don't have like the respect for the game, I guess.
That was our design pillar for this location. How can we design Woodside apartments to keep the juice in it? Like how is it possible?
Approaching Eddie.
Oh,
on this side.
Okay.
What did you say?
No, I just I remembered all the issues we've had with the collisions in this pool. So I wasn't sure if he's gonna actually use the extended movement, but he did. Nice.
Yeah, I remember at some points we were so frustrated about like this not working correctly that we wanted to just create this kind of rail around the pool to just block it visually. But yeah, it wasn't like cool to have it that way.
Okay, so we've got all the coins. Now we're not gonna see a very cool cloth simulation that our VFX artists spent months tweaking, but that's okay. It's fine. Yeah, I also remember, because I think that wait, okay, we skipped. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I also remember that the coin puzzle has different solutions based on the difficulty, right? I didn't know that back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, we skipped like very, very important narrative beat here, and the beat like actually it is like the significant change in comparison to original, because as probably fans of of Silent Hill 2, the original game, remembers, we are walking through those two apartments, right? Like Woodside apartment and Blue Creek apartment, but both of them are in the fog world. Both of them are kind of, you can go back and forth from one apartment to another in the original game. And we kind of reshaped that and changed that because like one reason was that we really wanted to have like the Blue Creek or we really wanted to have like the other world earlier, right, in the game, because of the pacing, because to kind of introduce this kind of theme to the players, and also because we kind of started to to create like this kind of background for the story for James and Mary, etc. And this location was great to do that, like this particular part of their story. And I really like this moment when James is crossing from one apartment to another. And in the original game it was super cool, but it was you can go and you can go back if you want. But in our version it's just also it is triggering the other world and the whole apartment building being changed. So I thought that is like pretty cool adjustment to the original ideas.
Yeah, Maciej, I think we should have a few seconds of silence for these first two enemies that our speedrunner has just killed. So yeah, we are two dead enemies so far.
I think you can beat the game without killing anyone, right? Like apart from bosses, obviously.
Yeah, but I think the reason, right? Yeah, it is possible. But the reason I think he killed them is because they are next to the valves. So it will be super. I mean, I don't think it's possible to to turn the valve with the enemy hitting him, right? Because it would just take him out of the view.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and also I love the fact that he uses his HP bar as a resource as well. So I mean I'm no speedrun expert or whatever, but I've watched a couple of times, like Games and Quick, etc. And I've seen that if you're super proficient in a game, you know how many damage you can take, so you don't really care up until some point. And I've seen it once when we entered Blue Creek. He was destroying one of the weak walls and actually got hit by the mannequin, but he just didn't care because he knows how much damage he can take, right?
Nice. I just wanted to say that there are probably a few people that would like to skip this part, but actually skip it.
That's the best part. Actually, I remember because I don't know if you know that Deborah was Deborah Wild, so actress who also worked with us on the game, so-called Backup Maria, as we refer to her, and also you probably know her from playing Lazel in Baldur's Gate 3. She was actually, I mean, I think she is still playing the game on stream, and I was actually there on their stream. I was sick at home. She was playing Blue Creek, and she had exactly this moment. She was so put off by that. It was crazy, super fun.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy our decision that to extend the the moments when James has to put his hands into some weird places. Let's make a mechanic from from this nice event, right?
Everyone was asking Matty, how long do you want to make? And Matty was like, yes.
That's completely new, right? Like this puzzle is something that that was not in the original at all.
Yeah, we've added quite a couple, right, of new puzzles.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is the old coin puzzle.
Yeah,
someone missed that. It was lying there. Because also like there's this idea, in the remake that we are playing with the original, ideas and designs, but we kind of, mix them a little bit, right? So the clock puzzle in the original was actually in Woodside apartment. And the coin puzzle was in Blue Creek. We kind of switched that and make both of them being a key puzzle for the location. Which kind of makes sense also, from the symbolic point of view, in those moments of the story. So.
Gosh, I don't know why is he reloading the game at specific points. I mean, it would make sense if he actually, got some time back, but I don't see how does he do it. Or maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I don't understand something. Probably I don't.
No, it's confusing for me too. So we might be both dumb.
Yeah, because right there he basically skipped picking up the knife which I don't know, is it done that lengthy? I don't know. We probably don't know something that he does. That's actually crazy. You know, you spend so much time working on a game, like 4 or 5 years, and then, you know, a couple months later, you have people probably more knowledgeable about it than you are in terms of, you know, how it plays. That's actually super interesting.
In many cases, it's definitely true. In many ways. Ah.
Okay, we've got another haul. Lovely.
Wait for it.
Just takes a sip. Nothing else to do. Just exploring the hall. That's James.
You are good with that. Like you are watching the stream, but also, you know, the streamer. Nice.
Okay, so what does PP arrive mean? Oh, okay, pyramid head. Okay, PP. That's it's a cute nickname.
Oh, you know, after so many years, like having all of those toys, etc., I think it's reasonable to just call him that way.
How about by PP? Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. It's close and personal. Right away.
Because why?
Because it makes it shorter.
Yes. That's why.
Yeah, so it's the same as it was in the original, right? Like when you deal more damage to Pyramid Head, basically it will be less time up until he decides to let you go, kind of.
But it's also nice because if I remember correctly, because there were so many changes during the production, and to be honest, frankly, I don't know 100%, but I think it's you also make you have the advantage, and you are creating more damage if you are using melee instead of a gun range. So it also speeded up a little bit.
Nice, because you're so brave.
Yeah, you know, like because you know, high risk, high gain kind of situation here.
That's true.
I'm curious if people, you know, noticed that, you know, because obviously we don't have like the setup that it was in the original, right? Like when you have like this staircase with the with water there, and the pyramid head is actually going there, and we kind of replaced it for the rain. So still you have like this kind of water effect, which is kind of, you know, it is symbolic in many ways, but at the same time, yeah, the whole boss fight is reshaped. Oh, hospital. Okay.
And the hospital. Yeah, and also super small detail, but I mean, we don't hear the stream right now, but I assume that he heard that the boss fight is done, and that, you know, and at that time, Pyramid Head basically stops interacting with you unless you you hit him again. But he stops and he just goes to the door. So he used all of this time to collect all the resources around the arena just to have more, because he knew that he needs to wait anyway. So that's quite cool.
But it wasn't like, you know, 100% efficient, right? Like if you would make the final blow next to the doors, like that would be faster, right?
Maybe actually, yeah. That's crazy. But you already think like speedrunners.
Oh man, another level. I'm learning.
Yeah, so we saw a glimpse of a nurse. I don't know if we're gonna see any any more during this run. How many nurses killed? 0 so far. Maybe something happened off stream that we didn't see. I mean off screen, sorry.
Yeah, like especially here, like when I'm, you know, looking at him, you know, running around with such a pace, I was like super afraid of this staircase. Because you remember, like, I think that was the one place in the entire game that we had like the biggest problem with the streaming.
Yeah.
So, you know, looking at, you know, this particular place and not seeing, you know, things popping up in front of you, it's kind of rewarding.
Herculean effort by our stream master JJ.
Yes.
And obviously our technical director Mariusz. But yeah, that was probably the trickiest.
And probably, you know, many other things from the environmental department and
yeah.
But yeah, lots of efforts put into that. Oh yeah, so we're collecting 3 patience bracelets. Wait, no bracelets. Like what is called?
Bracelets. I think bracelets are fine. Wristbands, maybe. No. I'm not native, so I don't need to know. Okay. Yeah. Just a quick detour
Do you
outside.
think anyone noticed?
The nurse or what?
No, that we are not natives.
No. I think we are super proficient in English, so yeah. Up until we said it, no one had any idea about it. That was nice creeper jump scare right there. Oh. Okay, so what are we doing right now? Oh yeah, we need to explore another hall. It's kind of a theme in that game, I guess.
We made it much more realistic in comparison to the original, as you probably remember, Maciej. We don't use the strand of hair right now, but the regular hospital, completely, reasonable tube.
Yeah, that's true. Although I imagine that if you have a good shampoo for the hair, maybe they can be strong enough to actually solve that issue for you. Okay, we have all the wristbands, I think. Or bracelets, sorry.
That was also the moment when we put so much effort into telegraphing that this thing needs to be hit.
Yeah, you mean the eye in the pool.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah.
So many iterations to make it kind of understandable for the players. But yeah, you need to do that, and you need to even kind of put some attention into the pool. There's so many those small things that will show you that it is important to take a look at.
Yeah, I believe that also at some point it wasn't possible to destroy it with handguns, like with bullets. I think it was only possible to destroy it with the melee weapon, which also a lot of people were confused about. So in the end, we decided to to use both for this one. No books puzzle for you, Mati. I'm sorry. We won't be seeing that today.
Oh man, I'm suffering. I'm dying inside.
Okay, we're slowly approaching. Oh yeah, and then again we are loading. So
I'm curious if someone is watching this kind of speedrun before they actually know the game.
I hope not.
It have to be like super confusing, like okay. With no cutscenes, no plot.
Oh, that's interesting. Wait. It looks
I
like...
have no idea what is happening, man.
I mean, first, I think that Fleshly bugged out. That's the first thing. But the other thing, I think that by loading the save point like that, he basically like made him spawn on the level already, down, like, below the ceiling, so he could hit him. I'm not sure, but yeah. I mean, that I understand. Like, I see the value of doing that, definitely. Because when Fleshly starts to disappear above the ceiling, it kind of gets pretty lengthy at times. Because he's not really always that happy to go back.
Yeah. And that was super important moment, right? Like we beat first monster that we turned into spider in this game.
Yeah.
That's a super important thing, I would say.
Yeah, as you know, we love our spiders here at Bloober team.
Yeah, I remember, when we were kind of, there was this first moment with that idea. In my head, I had like Enemy, the movie from Denis Villeneuve with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
What is you know kind of spider themed. I would not spoil the movie if someone didn't watch it. I really recommend it. But it kind of fits in many ways.
Okay, so so this part is kind of cool because kind of cool. Yeah, I mean it's easy to exploit. Let's say that because in Hospital Otherworld you basically have 3 paths that you need to follow to open the main puzzle. But the thing is that if you know the code for 2 of the locks, you basically just complete one of the paths, right? So that's what he's doing to get the item. But other than that, if he just knows the codes, like he doesn't need to go there. That's true. Yeah, it's gonna be 1/3 of the level length. Speedrun. So way shorter than this actually. I don't think we're gonna see any nurses being killed today. I mean, maybe, hopefully, but it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the places when you can actually, go through the game faster doing that. But yeah, I don't think so.
If we don't have any other vault locations with enemies next to them, I don't think we're gonna see more monsters being killed.
Oh,
Let's give him benefit of doubt.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the key. Yeah, oh, that's a shame that we will not experience like all 3 paths.
I mean, there's just more fear and anger, maybe we don't need to.
Move.
Who knows? Yeah, also he doesn't even need to remember the codes, he just, makes the captions out of them. So that's pretty smart.
Oh yeah, nice. Again, you are noticing something that I isn't this.
And you're 18 seconds ahead of time. Crazy pace. So now, soon we're gonna meet Maria. Oh, wait. Nice. Okay, so here, just, quick shout out to our lead programmer on this project, Karol Ugor, who actually implemented that. I had no idea. I learned after the game has released that you can actually destroy the panel in the elevator. Did you know, Mati, about that?
To be honest, no.
Yeah. Yeah, my mind was blown, actually blown. Like 5-head idea right there.
I'm speechless a little bit, like with the moment.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we got to prison, which I'm a bit sad about because I was wondering, I was hoping to see some bugs related to Maria AI when we meet her in the hospital. But
what bugs? What do you mean?
What do you mean bugs? No bugs in this game, not even once. Yeah, Mati. So prison, pretty chill level, right?
Oh yeah, we really wanted to make it calm and like to make the player feel comfortable with his feelings. Yeah, and another spider. Yeah, but yeah, like to be completely serious, yes, that's the peak of the, like, at least that's supposed to be peak for the scary factor in the game, and the design of the location also serves to do that, and new monster also serves to do that because who is not afraid of spiders, obviously, and the design of the location as you can see is like pretty vertical. So it's something that they really wanted, to do in this location, and and we achieved like this kind of nice feeling of, lurking in the dark, playing with the lights and having this kind of feeling of uncertainty all the time with those spiders lurking around you. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about this location. Although it is probably the most in terms of pacing, in terms of the style, it might be the location that is the farthest from the original in many ways. But I think from the in the perspective of the remake, that was important, like to have that kind of location, because it's also like the lowest moment in the James path. I mean, like it will be after this location actually, but it was important to kind of create a build up for that and to go deeper and deeper into this kind of hellish environments.
I also remember that, no matter how we treated this level, it always felt like there's too many monsters here. And I don't see this being an issue right now. Actually,
Not at all.
maybe there's not enough. Maybe we should, like patch it out a little bit. Maybe increase the number of monsters by 200% or something.
I'm curious if he will even pick the rifle. Maybe he will, because it would be powerful weapon for the boss fight. Yeah, he will. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's actually, interesting. I assume that they run those speedruns both with collecting additional weapons and without it, and they just figured that it's just quicker to beat the boss fights with rifle than just by using handgun. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I'm kind of happy that like I know that it can be not the best experience for the speedrunners, because I assume speedrunners usually just like to break things as much as they can. That's that's the gist of speedrunning, I suppose. But it's good to see that we kind of made the game in a way in which it's very hard to do. So yeah, I mean, huge congrats, beautiful team.
It looks pretty effortless for this guy, to be honest. But yeah, like still, if it takes 2 hours, then it is a little bit of time.
Yeah, I remember seeing some speedruns where basically if you push the right button and stand in the right position in the prologue of the game, you can jump to the to the end, like final location, which is like, I don't know how people find out this stuff. It's just mind-boggling to me, but they do.
I think to be honest, like I think this game should be beatable in 5 seconds. You just arrive to Silent Hill, like to information deck, and you just fucking get away from it. And you live.
Secret ending.
Forget about it. Like, forget about it. And yeah. But we needed to, like I remember we even consider if someone will actually go down the road.
Yeah,
we'll just end the game. But
and I think actually we would do it, but I mean, it just didn't make sense narratively, right? Since
of course.
if we weren't James, if we were the player, then it makes complete sense. But to give this choice to the player. But yeah, I mean, James wouldn't do that ever. So yeah. Okay, we have our first nurse killed. That's it. Let's wrap it up. We're done here. I love how he edited, because like obviously we are watching a shorter version of a 2-hour speedrun, but he actually left out all the holes. I assume that he could have skipped them during the edit, but he didn't, which I love.
Well, it's very enjoyable mechanic, so
Yeah, it is definitely.
if I remember, how we were struggling with those spiders in all of those environments.
Yeah, coding AI that walks up and down walls and can jump on you in a location like that. It's not the greatest time, but yeah, I mean we managed.
Curious if someone. Yeah, sure. I'm just curious if someone noticed how there's this spider attack from the wall, right? Like he can jump on you and kind of attack you with, let's call it feet, right? And hit you. And I'm curious, like how many people noticed how completely ridiculous angle that can be if you are in the specific position when the attack triggers. It's literally Superman from time to time. It's not, you don't see that like in 99% of the time. We saw that on the test map when you're looking at the spider and then he's kind of going down and then do this kind of angle like Superman like trying to hit you. That's super funny.
Yeah, but also a lot of work put in there by our combat team, our AI programmers, Tomek Mejherczyk, our principal AI programmer who eaten his teeth first on, I mean, he worked on so many titles, but I remember mostly working with him on Blair Witch, Bullets AI, and then kind of going into the Silent Hill 2 spider mannequins.
How far the spiders are from the dog, right?
They're basically like just
literally
4
the
more
same,
legs, right? It's a dog with 8 legs. That's what spider is.
Like, but ours
Essentially.
only 4, right? So it's literally the same thing.
So it's basically a dog. That's what you're saying.
Of course.
Dog mannequin. Okay. I can work with that. Okay. Yeah. Prison is a tough level.
Yeah, I was thinking if you can actually skip some of the paths, but no, you need to collect like all of the wages.
Yeah, because you like for each path you need to have an exact amount, like exact weight on each scale, and I don't think, I mean, I know you cannot have that exact weight without collecting all of them for the final path. So yeah, we didn't make it easy, I guess.
From the mathematic perspective, it wasn't easy to.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that I was figuring that out, like not at all. There was smarter people than me to, try to make it done. But yeah, it was tricky.
Yeah, you leave school, you think you're all good, no more math, no more algebra, but then you find yourself working on the scale puzzle for Silent Hill 2 in the prison, and it's cool all over again. Okay, so that's actually interesting because we've beaten majority of the game already, and it's hour and 11 minutes. So we have only how much 45 minutes left. So it's a relatively long time for the amount that we have left, right? I think. So maybe it indicates that you cannot really skip too much things later on, and obviously you have boss fights as well, which probably take some time.
Yeah, I think about the hotel because I don't think you can skip too much in the labyrinth, but maybe I would be surprised.
Hey, what do we collect in Labyrinth? I'm blanking out right now.
Sorry, once again.
What do we collect in? Do we collect anything in Labyrinth, or is it just
No. Like we have, just 3 paths with the with the puzzle, right? So you can't go to specific paths before.
Yeah. Okay.
Finish,
So
like the previous one, right? So maybe there is a way, some kind of weird way
maybe
skip it all, but yeah, we'll see, I guess.
And also we have those kill rooms, right, in the labyrinth, which I don't know if he's gonna fight for them, or maybe there's some gimmick to skip them.
Oh yeah, that's interesting, because like all of those rooms in this kind of anger path, as we call it, and this red one, you can either wait, right,
Yeah,
to the doors to be opened, or you can just try to kill everyone, and then you can go. So I'm curious what is faster, right? Like, actually,
yeah.
probably fighting. No, definitely fighting.
Okay, so it's apparently quicker to load the game than to actually like leave the investigation view, because this happened again. It must be the reason. Like I don't see any other reason for that.
And what? Why did he pick the wrong one first? Pick the right one after.
I clueless, no clue myself. For a second, I thought that he's just like he's chosen randomly, and when he noticed that he has the wrong cutscene, he loaded.
Oh,
But
maybe that was just a mistake, but yeah.
Maybe, not sure. Okay,
I think
let's.
this part might be considered as a, like one of the biggest changes in comparison to the original, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it kind of follows the, this idea that we are not, doing the boss fights in the super tiny room, claustrophobic, in the claustrophobic style, when you have like nothing to nowhere to go, etc. But at the same time, this is like much more extended, right? Because
yes,
yeah, we wanted to flesh out the story, Angela's story, a little bit more.
Yeah, it makes sense within this game, right? Like it's not always about visceral combat; it's also about just experiencing stuff. And I think that this boss fight actually does a great job at just storytelling. What happened before. Of course, if you know more or less what's going on here.
Yeah, I remember that there was also a lot of disturbing images in that part. That like that we really wanted to do do well.
Yeah. It's definitely tricky because obviously original was during a different age, different time, and graphics probably weren't elaborate enough to to actually sell some of those ideas, or maybe to some of these ideas weren't maybe seen as I don't know too extreme because graphics were not there just yet, and this time obviously we can depict whatever the hell we want. So yeah, we need to be very careful about what we actually show and what we don't show, because a lot of things can be interpreted, and you don't want to do it maybe too much in your face.
Yeah, and also like that was also the charm of the original and that type of gaming era, right? Like you needed to, you was forced to interpret things in a specific way, right? So either we can just interpret it on our own way, and then there is just like the straight interpretation, and we can just reshape it in a way that still, like, many things would be a little bit hidden, a little bit not clear for the players, but just using different technique, because right now we have 4K graphics, and you can see anything you want, especially with the third person over the shoulder camera. So like we are trying to keep like this feeling of weirdness, and we don't want to be clear or precise in talking about specific things. At the same time, we just can't use the same techniques that was used back in the day, right?
No. Oh. What?
Oh, different run. Okay.
Hi.
You see, there is a way to skip the labyrinth.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Actually, I think that, you know what? We found this bug. We actually found this bug. I remember that. But I'm not gonna lie. I remember talking to Anya, who was responsible for this level, and I heard there is a fix for that, but it was super late in the production, and the fix was kind of complicated. And I was like, "Oh, like, let's don't do it." I mean, if someone wants to play at 2 FPS and find this bug, then fine. Like, no one is, in right mind is gonna do it. Obviously, no disrespect to our, speedrunner here. But yeah, I mean, that was a conscious decision to not fix it because it was only occurring on a very, very low FPS. And obviously, if you play the whole game on 2 FPS, I don't envy you, not necessarily. So yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting because, like I was thinking that maybe there is a way to skip the whole labyrinth section, just going through this, unthinkable path, as we called it, like this kind of corridor with all of those, shapes, etc. But I thought it may be some kind of a trick connected to, to collisions, or someone will find something that can actually squeeze through it. But yeah, I didn't expect playing with the frame rate.
Yeah, also, right here, he's showcasing to a great effect our multiple accessibility options that we have in the game. And I mean, I've never thought that actually this can help so much during this boss fight, but I mean, it obviously does. It's super, foggy in this boss arena. So playing on high contrast is kind of a little cheating right there. But I mean, all
We could even see him spawning in the corner.
yeah. Yeah, I assume that if he knew where he spawns, he always spawns in the same location. So yeah, at the beginning of a second stage of the boss fight.
I don't think so, to be honest. I think it was dependent on the place where you are.
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe something changed at the end. I remember that we designed it that way, right? So like the entire boss fight was designed that way, that he's supposed to be most of the time on the other side when he enters the room once again.
Okay, last location in the game. I mean, second to last, but yeah, essentially last.
Okay, so
Getting any?
20 minutes till the end, right? So 20 minutes for the whole hotel boss fight.
Yeah, but you also have 2 boss fights, right?
Yeah.
So assume no crazy skips here, unless maybe. But can you actually? I mean, you need to find all the free figurines anyway, right? Like it's not that like you can skip it.
Yeah, there was a time when you could skip like a pretty big chunk of hotel, but we actually secured that.
To our speedrunner community dismay, they I assume they're not happy about it, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's also it was a problem, with kind of understanding the story even, because you could skip it not knowing you are doing that even. So that was a problem.
Done. No, wait.
A different one this
What?
time.
Oh, there's a different one?
Of course.
What? Is it the same? Oh, that probably based on the difficulty?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Jeez. I didn't know that. I guess I was playing on normal always. I don't know, probably. The things you learn about your game after 6 months after the release. That's crazy.
I mean, there's so many things here, and that's why we need the entire team to work on the game, right? Like,
Yeah, I
because
know.
you can't know everything. To be honest, I'm not even 100% certain that if that's just randomized or based on the difficulty. To be honest, I remember having like all of those talks about that.
Yeah.
To be honest, like the final conclusion, someone was responsible for that and
Yeah.
made the right decision at the end.
Yeah, but definitely what you're saying, Maciej. I think that's especially for us after our previous games, like jumping to this one, the scope, the number of people, the specialties that we needed actually to pull it off. It was a huge jump from what we did before, and yeah, I mean exactly that. So without all of those people, like it would be impossible. Yeah, which is also great experience to build this team during the production, because a lot of those people actually joined Bloober when we were working on Silent Hill, also with this sole purpose of working on this game, which is I assume a chance that not everyone could have expected to happen. So great to have them all on board.
Yeah, definitely. And after going through this whole process, with all of those people right now, like at least me, it's hard for me to imagine like any other team to work with at this point. Because you know all of them, and you know what they are capable of, and you know that you can sometimes you can just relax and count on them. They will just do the job, which is very, very good to have got that kind of feeling. So yeah, we are very fortunate.
Yeah, that's such a huge value. Like you rarely think about it, but obviously, like right now for us working on the next titles, like we can already see all the value that just knowing the people you work with actually gives, and knowing what are their strengths, what they excel at, how they communicate. This is like complete game changer.
Okay, we have another bunch of valves.
Yeah,
Needed to be solved.
it's some 5-head puzzle right there.
Yeah, I really like this location. Like, it's the obvious reference to The Shining. In terms of lighting, because obviously we didn't copy it or anything like that, but in terms of the like the bar and the light on the bar and the colors, etc. Like, if someone knows the movie well, they probably recognize it. Oh, that's interesting. Like, if he would, yeah, the combat would be not right now, but when we will get into that, I'm curious if he would try to skip the boss fight, the fight, or just go through it like pretty quickly.
Because you need to break the wall, right, to leave the room.
You need to push the heavy wardrobe and then to break
and
the wall.
then break the wall. Oh, so I think he needs to. I think he needs to, because otherwise he's gonna get decimated.
Oh, we'll see.
Unless
it is possible, but yeah.
Yeah, he already has proven to know a lot about Silent Hill 2 Remake. So I mean, let's see.
Yeah, that was very enjoyable part in terms of kind of redesigning the whole hotel, and especially the garden part. Maybe not especially, but the garden part is redesigned like very, very strongly, right? Like, we kept like many those kind of very characteristic elements, like the fountains and all of that stuff. But at the same time, we've allow ourselves to kind of revisioned like this entire section from scratch almost,
Yeah.
and it was very fun thing to do because it's the moment of the game when you as a player already have like so many informations. Maybe you don't even realize like how many informations you already have, or what is the symbolic meaning of all of that stuff. But many things here makes sense, like the color of the flowers, like the mood, like why it is looking that way at this particular point of time. It was really fun to do, and the goal was to make it like being a little bit different than any other locations.
Yeah, I think it's also nice to just make it more diverse, like because you have a lot of those spacious interiors in the game, so it's just nice to break it.
Oh,
Okay, no breakable wall. Yeah. So way quicker than we thought.
Well, that changed? I thought it's
Who changed that? Mari, we need to find out. Let's do a wish count right now. I'm already messaging every design lead. Let's.
I constantly get everything I said about our team. Like whoever done this.
For the record, we're joking, guys. So that please, that's not chaos.
I'm sure that would be. It might be cut it off. Like this particular part.
Exactly. Just to protect us, Just
Bloober team director. He's angry about his colleagues from the team.
Yeah, I've seen crazier headlines. So yeah, I mean I can imagine that. Okay, so we do that, and then it's basically the final gauntlet. Yeah, you see, like there's something with the investigation. I don't know what it is, but there must be something to it. I don't know how much time we actually save, like probably half a second, but yeah. Okay. Boss fight time. And he's using no rifle. That's crazy.
Yeah, because again, that will speed it up with Pyramid Head, right?
Yeah. But I would assume that because it's just so easy to get stun locked here. Because every time you can, you can get hit from different angles. So
I think this guy is skilled. Obviously.
I mean, he knows his stuff, definitely.
And again, I remember, while working at, with this, like with our team, to show that the player is progressing. If you remember, because you couldn't put like a blood trails or anything like that on the pyramid head. You don't want that because it's not that kind of character. So you can't just show that you're progressing with fighting with this guy, and then. But you need to show that okay, like you are progressing as a player. So all of those distractions around you helps to have that effect, and the music, of course.
Okay, Mati, this is it.
It was skipping, right? Like it's not like it was glitch.
Yeah.
Skipping.
It skipped. Yeah, just the hallway was skipped.
Yeah, cool.
This is it. Final encounter with your very dead wife.
The last spider in the game, man.
Yeah, sadly we don't have any more spiders for you guys today, and this is the last one. But who knows? Who knows what's going to be included in our next game? Maybe more spiders. Maybe we'll cook some
spoiler
for you. Spider Hill? I don't know. Maybe Spider the New Dawn. Who knows?
Oh, this is the moment when you use rifle, I guess.
Yeah, he was just saving all of this precious ammo. Oh, and then Mari, yeah, she just decided to let it go. She had enough. Boom. And we have it.
Okay, that's impressive.
Thank you, man. I wish I know who you were. I will definitely ask just after this one because yeah, we will definitely need to message you. 'Cause that's
We will track you down.
we have a very particular set of skills. No, but honestly, it's great to to see someone experience something you've created in such a different way that we haven't planned for, but it's still awesome because I know, like, we know how much time it takes to actually nail the speedrun of any given game. So you
also
need to
know how
like
much time it
the game
takes
that
to-
you play.
Yeah, we also know how much time it takes to create all of those cutscenes that he skipped. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, but I guess he watched it. He watched them, during the first playthrough. I hope so, at least.
We hope. Wait, how many?
Okay.
We should see the number of. I think it's the end. The end is the end. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought I wish we would see the number of enemies killed. But anyway, no, wait, we're back. Enemies killed 25. Okay. Decent. I was afraid that we're gonna be in single digits, so it's all good. Okay, everyone.
Great.
I think that's a wrap. Yeah, Maciej, any final words?
So again, yeah, any final thoughts? Like, congratulate to anyone that can beat the game in such a pace. That's amazing, incredible. And yeah, thank you for playing it. Thank you for enjoying it. I mean the game. Maybe not listening it to us today.
The two native speakers right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you once again.
Thank you all for watching.